Welcome back, everybody. This is the third episode of the Human Resources Management and Data Center series of lectures. So, what motivates data center resources? Actually, motivation at workspace was discussed and researched by many scholars as well as by many experienced leaders and managers. Human is a complicated creature. The most common difference between assets and human is the feelings. Yes, human internal feeling. So, based on this introduction, uh, I can summarize the key points about motivation in 5 key factors, which is fair compensation, utilization as well, engagement, certainty, and alignment. Concerning the compensation or the financial compensation the worker is getting in terms of salary, other benefits, we have to consider what researchers articulated in many research, that money is never a motivator, yet lack of money is an anti-motivator. So we have to base our salaries and benefits on real research for the market, for the options that workers may have, and this evaluation for the market and the common salaries should be revised annually probably, so as to keep it competitive and to just keep the people with you not attracted to just move to another competitive or competitor for a better environment, seeking better salaries. Uh, as far as we have to make a kind of loyalty factors like giving indirect motivation or financial compensations like health club, probably like if one of the team members published an article, we have to be generous and give him a compensation. We have to offer a kind of training, scheduled training to build a career path for the worker. So on the overall, it will just pay, and this will help retain the worker in the organization. I found that utilizing the people uh, reasonably will create a kind of positive environment in the organization, and this itself considered one of the motivators. Early theories in human resources discuss the giving more financial and more motivation to the worker will give or will result extra work and effort. Then there are some other theories recently saying that just let the worker work and give him the chance to succeed and to taste the taste of success is a better motivator, and it is actually going to self-motivate the worker. Ignoring worker skills or let this skills die or just become a poor repeatedly done work is of course a negative motivator. So worker may continue the job because he need to just have the salary, he need to feed his family and so, but he will never exceed what's expected from him. At the same time, his innovation will just gradually deteriorate. Uh, and the capacity always in the worker, because the human being is just subhanAllah built like this, it is actually expandable, and the person will always be surprising himself and the people around him. The factor of engagement is just about sharing the responsibility with the workers. Let them be part of the decision. Uh, this is the general role that we have to pursue, and the worker will always love to just have a choice how he can do this work, how what is best suit his circumstances, and this will just give him a higher level of compliancy and probably exceed the compliancy to the commitment that he is now own this, and he work for this as he is working for it personally rather than just fit for the process and adhere to the expectation of the process. As one of the known philosophers, Peter Drucker, I guess, he said, no involvement, no commitment. As far I am involved, I will be always committed. and I will always be caring to make this decision succeed and flourish. About certainty. Certainty is the level of understanding current and future changes. So workers actually vary in their tolerance to uh, certainty. Some of them can work in an ambiguous environment where every day there is a new surprise and new instructions, new business needs, but others cannot tolerate this. They would love to just be in a peaceful place. Change will take long time to take place and be breached about. So he's actually uh, can tolerate this and live peacefully without any pressures. But I guess, and this is not proved, I haven't seen any research that actually support my claim. I claim that knowledge workers are higher tolerable as they are anticipating change because the technology itself will mandate itself in this point, and as far as it's evolving and keep changing day after day, keep updated, get new technologies, new methods to implement the technology. This is actually a factor that will make the worker more ready to accept change and support the change, and in the same time be part of the change. He is actually part of the change when he release a new release of specific application and expect the users to behave differently, and he will keep supporting this as far as he understands and he believes that this new application is better than the previous. This will give him the ability to anticipate and push the change to the end. To maintain resources motivated, we have to try to reduce this uncertainty and resolve the ambiguity around business and around decisions. This could be done by clear roles and responsibilities, treating the new issues with professionalism, address it and escalate it in the right way. Transparent decisions. We have to just highlight the importance of certain issue and put a plan to resolve it, engaging everybody. Load balancing. Actually, one of the things that I found in IT center that those who are knows better and who are actually experienced sometimes will be overwhelmed and overloaded with tasks, while the junior staff is just not trustable to just take a share and contribute. This actually creates a frustration and it creates a segregation in the resources team spirit. So we have to adopt a continuous learning in order to just keep this load and reduce the ambiguity. This will create what we call a reasonable level of certainty, and people will just live in a kind of peace and would, of course, be more productive. The alignment I mean here is aligning workers' personal ambitions with its values, with its family issues, personal development with the organizational objectives and needs. Uh, what I found that it's not healthy that the worker will dissolve in the organization and just kill any personal ambitions and expectations. Worker as a knowledge worker, of course, will always be looking for the better. So if we just overwhelm the worker with extra burdens and, for example, not giving him his vacation on time, cannot consider his family issues and long working hours, so many trips, business trips, all will just deteriorate his ability to be productive and be loyal and to retain him for a longer time. I think it's a good time to remind about my model for the HR management. We said first about planning, then hiring. We have in the hiring collecting resumes, evaluation criteria, and background check, then the orientation period. Now, once the worker is within our premises, he's actually we should care about organizing the resources, motivating the resources, and the risk optimization, which will be my next slide. As we are discussing data center human resources related issues, of course IT risks are a topic that we cannot ignore. Human resources working in the data center are a key source of threat. While they are satisfied, we cannot know that if they are just doing any kind of illegal work or illegal activities, fraud, whatever, they can coordinate with other users. At the same time, once disgruntled or once they are unsatisfied or they want to get revenge of the organization, they can do so disastrous impacts. How we can resolve this? The assessment, of course, identifies certain activities based on the roles and responsibilities assigned to them. So we have to categorize possible scenarios for risks with the current and existing roles and activities and tasks assigned to them. Now we should handle this responsibility in a professional way that actually reduce the risks and the associated impacts. Of course, the first key point is clearly defined authority, delegation, and responsibility assignment to the workers in a documented way. Once we have documented processes, documented roles and activities, the responsibility matrix is initiated and actually updated continuously. So at a certain time, we know who is responsible for a specific task and who is responsible for a specific action or activity. This actually will create or build the evidence that we can accuse the worker at a certain time, and this will work or prevent him of doing illegal activities and will create an environment of control and discipline. This is concepts and basics in what we call exercising the authority and practicing it in the organization, and there is nothing new in that, but the adherence to this is have a cost of just keep updating these documents and just work with formalities. And at the same time, we should not actually tie the worker's ability to just perform and work freely. This is an interesting balance that we have to reach in order to sustain the security environment. Part of the risk management is the business continuity and disaster recovery. In fact, this is a so big topic, we cannot handle it in one or two slides, but just I want to remind that part of this activities for business continuity is the human resources that we have, the workers in our data center, and we have to just adopt a comprehensive policy and involve the right key people. Business continuity and disaster recovery is not an IT pure issue. It is actually a shared responsibility from top management down to the lowest worker, because it's not only on IT, it's about business continuity, but part of it is just to sustain the IT and the IT functionalities, the software, the connectivity, the hardware, the IT services. So it's not a simple let's say topic. We have to consider that our human resources should be trained and should be understand their roles and activities as per the process, as per the specific plans that we initiate for the disaster recovery and business continuity. By discussing the risk optimization in human resources, we can conclude the development and management track, which was the third track of our proposed model for human resources management. And now I will be discussing the transitioning with its four activities. You can say that transitioning is the end of the relation or a beginning for a new relationship. Many experiences and readings concluded that people will be always caring about making the contract to join, but they will not actually care too much about the exit door. Let us discuss it and see how we can just manage this and reduce the risks associated with it. Probably transitioning is integrated to the certainty parameter that we mentioned earlier, and part of giving a kind of certain environment is just to let worker know that he can grow in a way or another inside the organization. This is a probable diversification in for IT workers who are actually doing some technical roles, and For many reasons, the data center or the IT department may become smaller than the capabilities of the worker, because the worker will grow, he will gain more experiences and capabilities. Once he found that he cannot fit in the existing job he is practicing, of course he will start looking around for a better job or some. So we can just control this by considering this naturally growing for his capabilities and skills, and try to offer him a place to practice it, not necessarily within the IT. And I articulated 4 strategies for this: rotating the worker, promoting him to a better job, releasing him, just let him go, and retiring the worker. Let us discuss each one of them. HR planning in data center includes not only adding more workers, it should include career path development for existing resources as well. So rotating IT workers to another jobs inside the organization is so common and wise in certain circumstances. But in the other circumstances, it might be sensitive and having some kind of risks based on the knowledge and the experience the worker have. But why to decide to rotate certain workers to another departments or business units? In fact, there are a set of reasons. Basically, firms should not actually lose good and faithful workers. Workers sometimes have an accumulated benefits and compensations postponed, and we should retain this for the worker as far as he actually can help and give the organization real value based on his experience and his involvement. Sometimes the worker would love to just divert to another profession, so he may get some certificate in other track, say accounting, project management, or some other track. He would love to just migrate to this department where he can practice his new knowledge. And sometimes he's actually having some accident and losing the capacity to practice what he's just practicing right now. So to be kind and just retain him in another job with the proper of course preparation before moving him over there is also a good and applicable. As far as there is no negative impact when we decide about moving one worker to another place, we should also assess all associated risks. If his knowledge and his experiences, specifically those who actually involved in database management and have access to the network, we should evaluate all this together. But usually there need to be a security policy that let's say compensates exposure by changing passwords and just prohibiting his access over there, and let everybody know that he is not anymore an IT guy. We should take care not to disclose specific information to him. At the same time, his knowledge in application and database and let's say technical and business layer together, this will actually create opportunity for utilizing him in business intelligence, investigations on the data, as far as he knows this data very well. So rotating workers in summary is about trying to just give the worker the chance to learn something new, practice new roles inside the organization, the IT function, or around the IT function in other departments. And in front of it we have the promotion, where we can actually look at the worker as a new character. We can give him a chance to be a partner. Maybe we can just do some kind of new relationships, assign him in a leader position inside the IT department or outside the IT department, or initiate a new business where he would be leading this. For example, I saw many organizations utilize the experiences gathered in their IT workers and initiate new IT leading edge companies, in fact. Because over years they built this capacity, and at the same time they have those loyal workers who can help in just doing and marketing there. So they provide them with capital and try to make a new organization where those people can have good jobs, specifically those who are highly experienced. And this policy is great as far as we actually can retain those people and make a new value and much bigger value than just doing functions within the IT. And rather than leaving those people to be released and find their way, starting their own businesses or just going to some other competitors or other investment or businessmen to utilize, why not we actually as a leadership in the organization to realize this as a human resources strategy to practice it with the IT people. There will be times when worker found his future somewhere else or found no alternative but to leave the organization. And sometimes organization will just go for a downsize or right size, or sometimes they are not happy about workers' performance and they would love to just have a handshaking programs with him. Uh, of course, this is one of the things that may cause the organization to lose this worker and release him to find a better job or somewhere else. And this is happening every day. Our concern in this part that they might be some kind of peaceful handshaking and we can just take all security considerations to just take care of this guy, not to just get revenge because of the knowledge he have about the IT, about the network, about the applications. At the same time, sometimes we take this action after we suspect this person to do some fraud or just involved in unethical activities. So we should take action and prohibit this person from continuing doing this role. And of course, the key point in this slide is just to consider all security, and there are many, by the way, security issues that need to be considered. Of course, part of it is just if there are some fraud activities, we have to deal with it in parallel with what we call the legal department, and top management should be involved about the disclosure of information about this case because it's going to harm the reputation of the company. But when it's peaceful, still we may have a kind of logic bomb initiated by this guy, or he would love to go and get revenge on the company or try to blackmail the company if he just change certain passwords which will cause their network and their IT facilities to hold or hang on, or I don't know. So we have to care very well about how we deal with those people, and it's better to have written policies concerning this for workers inside or leaders inside the IT function to follow. Of course, this needs to be also coordinated with the corporate HR management rather than just to be as an IT function fully responsible for any activities. It's good to just maintain this with the HR and the corporate policies for firing and handling certain unethical issues and activities. The fourth strategy in transitioning the worker is the retiring. Naturally, there will be so aged people in the IT function, and they are actually reached to the end of their journey in job, and they have to retire. Uh, it's actually different in different countries, but the point that this is one of the exits for the worker. What I advise that we have to anticipate resources who are about to reach this and just try to plan for the retirement with them. Probably just give them the chance to build some new capabilities that actually can find part-time jobs or that can suit their health and situation they have. Probably they can divert to training as an aged and experienced people. They can actually do some training to share some knowledge, or they can open a new business. They can actually have their own. Sadly, many organizations, they don't care really about this and just let the worker go, and he's supposed to be matured enough to plan for himself. However, this is actually sophisticated because sometimes certain societies within the association within the societies will just do this kind of service rather than the company itself. But it's good that to know that as an IT risk management point of view, we should not be surprised that certain person is actually reach his retirement age, but we have no compensation for him. We cannot actually trust somebody else in the IT department to do the job. And certainly I saw this in many organizations where just they have reached this disaster, and they were actually not planning to have this guy away, and this create a kind of shortage that sometimes impacted the organization even to hire the person, or just it caused certain negative impacts on the business and services they are introducing. We consider this from a human resources point of view and from IT risk management point of view. So we have to part of the HR practices inside the inside the IT department is just to anticipate any retirement approaching for certain workers, and try to just make sure that we get the knowledge or part of the knowledge that we need, and let them hand over and deliver this specific needs to their workers, to other workers around, so as they can be retired peacefully. Specifically, some people will just move away from the country itself, and this is happening in so many countries where actually have lots of expatriates, and once the worker is just released or retired, he will not be actually available for you to introduce any kind of service. So we have to consider this from IT security point of view rather than anything else. Obviously, we reached to the end of our trip with human resources management at data center, and I would like to wish you all the best. I hope that you already benefited out of these ideas, and I would love to remind about our model, which contains the 4 track: the planning, where we discuss the business requirements and the implemented technology as a factors, plus the available budgets as a factors to discuss and articulate the planning phase. Then we have the hiring, how we can collect resources, how we can evaluate their criteria and their knowledge. We have the background check. Then we have to make an orientation period for the person before just 100% rely on him on doing the tasks. We discussed the track of development and management of our human resources, where we discussed how we can organize those capabilities to just benefit out of them, and how we can motivate them, then how we can manage their risks. We concluded by the transitioning phase, where we discussed how we can rotate workers in order to just get more energetic outcome from them, and promoting. Probably we can find a way to just promote them and give them a new roles in the organization. And of course, releasing and retiring was the final destination for workers. And you may go and check my book about this one, Managing Human Resources at Data Center. It's available in Kindle, and if you wish, anybody can communicate with me regarding any comments or to get a copy of this publication. I'm just welcoming them. Thank you very much, and goodbye.